Hey, yo, what's up? How you doing? It's your boy, DJ Mad Scientist. Wow, this is a first. It's a first for all you all my YouTube followers and subscribers. Um, I'm starting on time. Now, for the people on the radio that's listening to this on the radio, I'm always on time. But for the people who watch this on YouTube, watch me streaming live on YouTube, every Friday at 6 o'clock, I am on time. What? Yes, I am once on time. 6 o'clock on a Friday. That's good. I'm really happy about that. I'm getting to the point where I feel confident and comfortable with how I'm doing this. So it's becoming a lot easier. I don't have to worry about a lot of the insecurities and I don't know if I know what I'm doing. What am I saying? Because a lot of people don't understand, like, there's no script for this. When I'm doing radio every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. until or 11 a.m. till 3 p.m., there's a lot of script. But when I'm doing my live, there's no script. And I'm just sitting here talking to a camera, and I have to pretend that this camera is my friend. I mean, I like it when you guys come in. In fact, hold on, let me do this. Let me get my comments in. I like it when you guys come in and comment. I like it when you guys send me the comments after. By the way, please like and subscribe to this live event and also to any of the videos that you watch that are mine. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. I want to grow this channel. I want to get bigger and bigger. Um, when I started this year, my YouTube channel had 0 subscribers, and now I'm up to like over 12,000. So I'm really, really happy. I really appreciate everybody that's following me. You got me on the radio. I know there's way more people that listen to me on the radio. So I like to get a lot of you guys to come over and subscribe to my YouTube channel since you're listening anyway. And I know you are. I see the analytics. All right, let me go ahead and do the introduction as I always do. Gotta do it. Hey, what's up? This is DJ Mad Scientist on the all new Power 97.5 LA. Today we are just talking music, where we bring you vital information about music production, promotion, and distribution every now and then, every week, right here. Where? Right here, where? We on the iGlobal Radio app. Download the app from your favorite app store or go to the website, iglobalradio.com. That's iglobalradio.com. Okay. Make sure there's a lot of people that listen to the station online, and that's cool. All I ask is that, go ahead and download the iGlobal Radio app. The great thing about the iGlobal Radio app is that it has different radio stations, it has different podcasts, it has different music playlists. So you could be listening to anybody from around the world. If you're here in the United States, you could be listening anywhere. So it's a good app to have. I would recommend that you get it, um, primarily because my show is on that app. And I want you guys to come in and enjoy the full experience of DJ Mad Scientist. I know some of you guys are like looking in the back, and you guys are like, "Oh, I see your DJ equipment back there." Yes, I am a DJ. I'm a real DJ. Okay, and today I was practicing on my scratch routine. Um, Not that I would do, I mostly a club DJ, so we don't do a lot of scratching, but I always felt a little insecure about the fact that my scratching, I got the basics. I got the baby scratch, I got the chirp scratch, but I don't have a routine. And then I do want to learn, I now want to learn the transformer scratch, and I have to start getting a routine. I mean, In the clubs, we don't really do it, and most people think I can scratch because I'm like, okay, I can do the baby and a chirp, and so that's good enough. I'm not trying to win any competitions with my scratching ability. It's just not the point. But there are some times where I do like mostly hip hop sets, and I would like to have more of a hip hop routine where I'm just whenever I just do like some boom bap hip hop, some older hip hop. So that's what you see in the back, me back there practicing. For those who are listening on the radio, you just have to imagine it, right? So today we're in the middle of a series where we're talking about promotion. And um, in the previous weeks, we talked about promotion on radio. We also talked about promotion on YouTube last week. Now, I want to give you what I try to do because I'm not a how to person. I'm trying to give you real life experience, what I'm going through. So, what I want to do right now is I want to actually show you something that I did with YouTube last week, and I want to show you the progress. And so, before we get into TikTok, let me show you what's going on with my YouTube, and that way you can judge whether or not you want to use YouTube promotion. Now, what you're seeing right here is my dashboard, my channel dashboard. So this is like a kind of summary of everything that's going on. That's what this is. Okay. So right now we're not going to be talking about money because not making a lot. I am generating money, but the hundreds of millions of dollars that you've heard about that got you into YouTube hasn't happened for me yet. Okay. If it does, I'll let you know. If it doesn't, I will definitely let you know. Right. Okay. But what I am really, really proud of is the fact that when I started this year, I didn't have a lot of followers. I think I had like 200 in 2025 when I started, and now I'm up to 12,362. Okay. Now you may ask, well, how does that happen? So we talked about promoting on the channel last week, and what I told everyone, for those who didn't um, come last week, is that YouTube is great. It's like if you are an artist, meaning if you're a rapper, singer, a music producer, a DJ, if you are a musical person, then YouTube is great. Now, same thing if you are doing other things too, but I'm a DJ, so I'm just going to talk from a music point of view. Obviously, Mr. Beast is the billionaire. He's not a musician, so obviously you have that example. But I don't do what he does, so I'm just talking from a musical point of view. If you are a DJ like myself, if you're a singer, if you're a rapper, if you're a music producer, being on YouTube is a 1000% must. Even if you're on the radio, I'm on the radio, it's a must. Okay. Because when people want to search for music or they want to find some music, and they might not be finding something new, they may be finding, like in my case, they're searching for um, 2000s hip hop and R&B mixes, and I have those. So they're not searching for me, mad scientist. They're not searching just for one artist. They're searching for a mix, and they find me. Okay. Another thing that people do is they're looking for music videos. So whenever they're thinking, oh, I want to see the music videos, they come to YouTube. Okay. Cardi B just dropped um today or this morning, and everyone's going to go to YouTube to find her music, her new music, right? So you may be wondering, well, they're looking for Cardi B, if they're looking for, how are they going to find me? And that's why YouTube is so great, because YouTube is very affordable. And I'm going to show you how much I spent and how many impressions I got. I was able to buy with the little money I spent, right? YouTube will allow you to position yourself so that when somebody is looking for Cardi B, which is going to be hip hop, you can position yourself as a hip hop artist, and they will show those ads, especially because when people are watching Cardi B, they'll have her on TV. It'll be on TV, and YouTube will show ads in the middle, depending on the level of subscription that a person has. They may show ads. If they find them on a computer screen, they'll show you on the side of the screen. So YouTube has a lot of tools to like put you next to the people that other people are searching for. Whereas in Apple, Spotify, I talked about this last week, even if somebody, most of the time, people are not going to Spotify to search for new artists. They're not. And they're definitely not going there to search for DJs. They're not. So, and they're not searching for producers. If they want to they want to hear Cardi B on Spotify or Apple, they're going to find specifically Cardi B. Then for me, once I find what I find, like I usually listen to Joe Budden. When I go to the gym, I'm listening to Joe Budden, right? I put it in my pocket. So there's no way for Spotify to advertise anybody else to me because it's in my pocket. The only way they would be able to do that is if they stopped the Joe Budden podcast, made a commercial, but I have a subscription, so I don't have to hear commercials. So, having your music on Spotify and Apple, I mean, I know it feels good, but another thing we talked about at the beginning of this series is that we have to get out of the what feels good, what impresses our friends, and get down to the core business. And in order for you to be a successful artist of any type, you're going to have to get in front of eyes. People have to see you. A lot of people have to see you a lot of times. So this whole series is about how do you get a lot of people to see you, hear you, listen to you, understand you, as many people as possible, so that they can make a decision as to whether or not they want to consume your content. Okay. Everyone's not going to consume your content 100%. And everyone's not going to consume your content every time you put content out. So you have to continuously get in front of people, continuously get in front of people over and over and over and over again. And some of those people will continuously see you over and over again, and they'll get to the point where they'll start looking for you. I have certain people on YouTube that I look for. Um, you know, what because of what I do in terms of radio, I have to talk about what's going on. I have certain people, Don Lemon, Larry Favors, and Karen Hunter, that I look for to find out what's going on in the news. So I could talk about it on the radio. And then also, I have certain people that I look for to be entertained. I have certain people that I look for to be educated in terms of music production, in terms of DJ skills. I have certain people. I'm an Africana Studies major in college. I got my degree in Africana Studies. So there's certain um, PhDs that I look to that I want to hear, their perspective, or they may have a book. There, I love history, so there are certain history channels I go to, and so in order for you to become something that someone consumes on a regular basis, you have to create the kind of content, which we're going to talk about content creation in another series. But at the same time, you have to place yourself in front of these people on a consistent basis so that they will feel like, okay, this person is reliable. They don't have to always agree with you. They don't always have to like you. And I will tell you, you don't have to have like this really great production. Obviously, we're all, most artists, we're all perfectionists. Okay. We want things Like when this becomes profitable for me, I'm probably going to get lighting and everything else to make it really look good. In fact, turn on. Let's see what I look like. Okay, I think I look better now. Okay, but I want to get a better space, right? For myself because I'm a perfectionist. I'm still an artist and I want to look good. I want it to be like really great. So when it's profitable, I'm gonna do it. But the one thing that I told myself and my manager told me, just start. Okay. And I remember there's a lot of people that I watch. One of the people that I watch is Devon Terrell. I think his name, yeah, Devon Terrell. He's a music producer. He's also a mix engineer, right? When I first started watching him, he was basic. If you see him now, I mean, he's far from where he started, right? His production level has increased huge. So I do believe that this works. What you get to see is the process at the and I'm at the beginning stages so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed. Like sometimes it's hard to have people who have already gotten to a certain status to kind of talk to you because you feel like, man, where you are is so far ahead of me. I don't know if I can make it. The great thing with me is that no, I'm not. I'm only 5 yards ahead of you. I'm the guy that's saying, hey, you know what? Come on, let's go, let's go. I'm not the guy that says you can do it, you could do it. I'm the guy that says, come on, let's just try it. I mean, what else we got to lose, right? We've seen other people be successful at it. Let's try it. Let's see what we can do. And so I'm not doing the how to. I'm doing the hey, this is what I'm doing, and you should try it too. Okay. So let's go before we get into TikTok, because we're going to talk about TikTok. Let's go ahead and get into what I showed you that I was doing last week. And we're going to go to the live. Well, let's go to the shorts first. So I'm adding more and more shorts. So I would recommend that you do shorts. My shorts are generally like really short, can't be too short. Like I've seen some that were like 7 seconds. It's too short, but they're like no more than they're like a minute long. The shorts are a minute long. My shorts do very well because I just get to the point. I have a I have a point I want to make. I say it, and I generally will like I went when we go to college. I went to college, right? And they always have a thesis statement, and then you have an introductory paragraph. So I'm basically just doing an introductory paragraph, right? We have a thesis statement, which is what the point you're trying to make, and just a couple things to substantiate what you're trying to say. Okay, and then you have a conclusion and a call to action. Okay, very simple format, right? Thesis statement: the sun is yellow and it's bright. Scientifically, you know, the sun is considered yellow and bright. There's some photos. That's my second point that I'm able to see. And my third point would be I just trust you know what? I trust the people that because I did take some science classes, so I consider myself science based. Um, you know what? Try out this person. Who's that guy that's like a genius? Forgot his name. I can't think of his name, but he's like a known genius. Go to him and check him out. Boom. And I just go through that process, and it's like less than a minute. I put them up as shorts. People tend to like them. In fact, these are you could see if you have me on YouTube, you could see my views. My last short that I did had 109 views. The short that I talked about where I said I create really great R&B and hip hop, 2000s R&B and hip hop mixes that you can use for Saturday brunch or for game day. That short got like 1,321 and it got 21 likes. Okay. So it got 3 dislikes. Who dislikes a short? I don't know. But here's the thing. they reacted. They saw it, they reacted, and they didn't like it. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's okay because I will show you later on that I'm able to like get subscribers from there. Okay. Uh the live, the lives that I do um are doing really well. People tend to like the hot topics more than these marketing, but that's okay because people are looking at the marketing. In fact, um, my promotion, my promotion series, promoting on YouTube, promoting on radio, it's doing really, really well for me. Okay. Both videos got over 2,000, um, 2,000 views. And so that's good. I mean, I started off getting like 4 views, 9 views, 5 views, 13, 36 views. Okay. 36 views and 2 likes. So it's cool. Like, this is the process that you got to go through. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing that process, how that process is happening. So last week, I told you what I was going to do. I said, hey, I'm going to spend X amount of dollars on promotion. And what you're doing when you're buying, when you're spending money on promotion, is you're buying impressions. That's what you're doing. So the moment you look, you're like, oh, I have some impressions. That's a good thing. The icing on the cake, well, I would say the cake itself is the views. Well, the cake would be the impressions. The icing on the cake would be the views. And if you get some subscribers, that's like the candles and all the and all the decoration that goes on top of the cake. So I promoted 3 videos last week. 2 of them were my marketing videos, and one was my short. I spent $20 on my marketing videos. For each of those videos, I got 26 and 25,000 impressions. So there's 2 videos, one on marketing radio and one on promotion on radio, and the other one promoting on YouTube. The one where I promoted on the video where I talked about promoting on YouTube for $20, I got 26,000 impressions. Out of those 26,000, um, 2,316 people decided to watch it. Out of those 2,000 people, 2 people decided, hey, I like this guy. I'm gonna subscribe. It's good. Okay. Um, it's a how-to. How-to, how-to videos are good for long term. This is what I'm finding out. How-to videos are good for long term because they don't go out of they never go out of style. Okay. How to promote on YouTube will probably be the same 2 years from now. So, and there's always going to be somebody wanting to know how to promote on YouTube. Okay. Same thing with radio. It's going to be the same thing. So I'm not really worried about the fact I only got 3 subscribers from those 2 videos. When you do hot takes, yeah, you're going to get a lot more. Like, I did a promotion on hot takes. For this particular hot takes, I don't know what I was talking. What was I talking about? I don't know. But I spent $10. I got 38,000 impressions. So the $10, because it's hot takes, the $10 got me more impressions, right? $10 for, so if I got way more impressions than when I spent $20 for the marketing videos. I got 1,000 views from the 38,000 impressions. Probably because by time people see the hot takes, well, the hot takes are like cool for 2 reasons. Number one, if it's breaking news, cool. Or number two, if your editorial is great and amazing. Okay. I'm a DJ. I'm not really an editorial person. I'm getting better at it, but it's not my specialty. Okay. It's only got 1,000 views, but I got 175 follows. So there's 175 subscribers that kind of like my take on things. They may not have thought that I would have a good take on it, but whatever I was talking about, I impressed 175 people. Okay. Now, what I'm really surprised about is the live. I spent $10. I got 48,000 impressions off the shorts. I said live, but I meant shorts. I spent $10. I got 48,000 impressions on my short. 1,206 people viewed the short, and 157 of those 1,200 people, 157 people decided, I like this guy. I will tell you on my YouTube channel, what does really, really well are my mixes. People like the fact that I DJ, and I like the fact that people like that I DJ. That's a good thing. Like if they liked my editorial work better than my DJing, I think I would be like kind of like, oh, disappointed. I mean, I would take it, but I kind of want people to like my DJing more than anything. For $10, promoting one of my mixes, my 90s and 2000 mixes, for $10, I got 56,000 impressions. Of those 56,000 impressions, 1885 people watch the mix or they listen to the mix, and 141 people decided, hey, I like this guy. I'm going to hold on to that. Okay. So I wanted to show you and talk to you about the results because I talked about it last week and I wanted to give you the results. Now, here's what I am looking for. You see how I spent that money? I want to know if I'm going to get any, am I going to make enough on ad revenue to make it worth it? That's what I want to see. So today is Friday, the 19th. Um, that ad campaign started, I believe, I forgot when I started those ad campaigns, but I'm starting to see an increase of ad revenue. But obviously, I'm going to have to wait probably until next week to report on, did I make my money back just from ads? Now, keep in mind, ads is not the only way to make money off of these, um, off of these videos and these discussions. In fact, as many of you guys know, I always talk about my sponsors, right? So one of the sponsors that I like to talk about is my merch. And so I'm going to show you guys as soon as the site comes up. Okay. I'm going to show you guys my merch so that you guys can actually see my merch. Okay. So it's a word from the sponsor. Mad Scientist. I do have merch and it's really, really great. You'll see here I have my logo. People really, really like this logo. I'm surprised and shocked because this is an AI generated logo, but I told AI to do it, and I'm glad that people liked it. And so I have hoodies, I have beanies. Wintertime is coming. I have DJ backpacks. So if you are a DJ, you can get the backpack. I have t-shirts, all sizes, all male and female. And I have my OG t-shirts with Mad Scientists on it. Okay. Shirts are really great quality. And I would say with everything, get one size bigger because they're fitted. Okay. Like I got all of this stuff and I wear large. And when I got it, it fit, but it fit exactly right. And I'm like, I kind of like in the future, I'm probably going to get extra large, because I don't want to feel like I have a shirt on that's exactly fitting. All right. So um, that's how I am. Hold on. I want to go back to share this tab instead. Okay, so that's the next the next thing that we have to figure out is if it's worth it to spend that money. Am I going to somehow get it back from either ads or am I going to get it back from, my sponsors, which would be me. Okay. All right. So that's YouTube. And I want to just go ahead and give you guys an update. What we're going to talk about now is TikTok. And I can pretty much tell you um TikTok is in flux right now. Okay. All right. Hold on. I want to share screen, turn off. Okay. All right. So hopefully you guys don't hear the sound. 'Cause I don't want the sound to come through. So I definitely don't want the sound to come through. Okay, so TikTok. First thing we're gonna do, first things first, we're gonna talk about, the status of TikTok. Um, Let me find um a reputable news print. I think I'm gonna go with political. They are reputable. Mm, I don't know how they lean left or right, but I try to use information that's political, that's credible. Okay, so the name of the article from Politico is called "No Clarity on TikTok Sale After Trump and Xi, that's the president of China, phone call." Okay, President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping seem to be at odds about whether a proposed deal to remove TikTok from Chinese control has been approved after a call Friday between the two leaders. In a post to Truth Social, Trump said he had a very productive call with Xi on multiple issues and appreciate the TikTok approval, seemingly referring to a deal with China on the social media app. However, the first official readout on the call came from a Chinese government agency and made no mention of a deal, instead, restating China's longtime position on allowing TikTok negotiations to continue. China positions China's position on the TikTok issue is clear. The Chinese government respects the wishes of enterprises and welcomes them to conduct business negotiation in accordance to market rules, reaching solutions that comply with Chinese laws and regulations and balance interests, the country's Minister of Foreign Affairs said in a statement. Okay. Essentially, the issue that they're having with TikTok, well, the American government, is that TikTok is the algorithm is owned by the Chinese government. It's not owned by a Chinese company. It's owned and controlled by the Chinese government. And this country feels like we are feeding China information about who we are as citizens, our culture, our cultural norms, because that's essentially what we do on TikTok. You know, we give them our political statements, we tell them what we like because we are selling things on TikTok. We tell them what we like to do because we're putting our events, and I'm going to show you how to do that successfully. We're putting our events on TikTok. We're putting everything that we do and all the things that we feel on TikTok. And the American government feels like that could be detrimental to our national defense. Okay. So, what uh, President Biden's administration and most of the Democrats said is that they wanted TikTok to sell its interest to an American buyer. They don't care who, but it's got to be someone American. When Trump won, a lot of people were like, "Hey, we make money on TikTok." So if the Democrats were like, "If you don't sell it by a certain time, we're gonna like shut down TikTok. Won't be able to be shown in the United States. Will not be allowed." Trump has said, "Okay, well, listen, I'll give you guys 3-month extensions." And we're on it. I think a week ago, he gave him another 3-month extension. So we're on another 3-month extension where Trump is like, "Hey, let's see if we can negotiate this so we can find you a buyer." Okay. Because a lot of people make money off of TikTok. Okay. There's a lot of people that generate income off of that. Okay. And I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay. So, um, that's what they're into. Now, that's the that is the latest on TikTok. And so wanted to bring you that information because I think it's important. It's very important that you understand that so that you can make a decision whether or not you want to use TikTok as a tool to promote, you know, your brand, okay? Because essentially what TikTok is for you, if you're looking at this right now, is a tool to buy impressions. Remember, I told you, you're not trying to buy, people liking you. You don't know if people are going to like you. You're not trying to buy results. You don't know if people are going to utilize your services or buy your products. You don't know that. And TikTok can't make people buy your goods or your services. But what TikTok can do is give people is sell you impressions so that a lot of people see what you're doing and they can make a decision upon them, on their own, whether or not they either like your product or they want to buy your services. Okay. And that's what we're doing. And so every format that you go to has a specialty. So at the beginning, we talked about radio. You can buy impressions. We talked about typically who's the audience and what they're looking for. And, you know, you're going to focus mostly your music. Okay. You can go there, promote your music on radio. Okay. Then we talked about YouTube, where you're going to be able to do everything. It's like your hub. TikTok, it's good for events. Okay. Now they're going to tell you, obviously, TikTok is going to tell you you can sell anything. You can sell your goods, your services, your products and your services, or goods and services. You can do that. Yes, technically you can. What I found in my experience is that people tend to go to TikTok when they are like, "Hey, I need something to do." Okay. That's why I started using TikTok, because people were like, I have friends who are like, "You should do stuff on TikTok." I was like, I was like, not my thing. They were like, "No, people, whenever they want to find something to do, and mad scientists, you have events." So what I started doing is placing clips, very short clips of my events, not prefabricated. That's another thing about TikTok that you got to know. If you're just pre-making videos and to make it seem like this is how it could be, people aren't really feeling that. What is successful, in my experience, is when you just put regular stuff. So I'm yeah, I turned the sound off. Okay. So you can see this is pretty much the show. I mean, this is pretty much the event. This is really, really happening. Okay. Now, yeah, of course, I edited it. I slowed it down, put the music in the background that you're not going to hear, and then put the information, come celebrate your event. But I feel like people, that she's not a model. Okay. This is really someone who is there having a good time. And I'm just essentially Uh, Same thing with this video here. For those who are on the radio, I'm showing video clips on my TikTok channel. I know you guys can't see it, but essentially, I'm just showing what it looks like inside of my events. So the video that we're seeing now is some bottle service girls bringing bottle service. You see a lot of people standing around the bar in the back. Now you see people dancing. They've got a sign that says "We outside," and that's just to say, "Hey, my nightclub's Friday Night Hype. Got a lot of people in there. You see them. You see what the people look like. You see them dancing. It's like, okay, it's really popping. Okay. Um, I even have a Taco Tuesday event, and people are ordering drinks, and they're having a good time. And these are real people, and you can see, you know. And then I do have myself where I talk myself. I took some of the shorts that I did on YouTube and I put them on here. So this is a clip of me showing the hoodie that I have, right? Um, and then I have another clip. So I have a lot of clips of just my content that I place on here. I usually try to place like 3 to 4 clips per week, okay, on here just to kind of keep it. Now, the important thing that I do is, and we're going to talk about content in another series, but just let me mention, if you can watch on the if you're watching YouTube, you'll see that for every clip I have a title. So for this particular clip that we're watching, it's Hype Fridays at Agave Ultra Lounge and nightclub in downtown Long Beach, California, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., free before 11 on guest list featuring DJ Mad Scientist. So that's a title and a description. And then I have a lot of tags, a lot of tags, a lot. Okay. Because a lot of times people will do searches on TikTok using hashtags. Okay. But we'll talk about that more in depth when we talk about content creation. Okay. Because every social media um, site has a need for different type of content, and you got to know what kind of content to add. That's part of marketing. Okay. The person who would be doing it is called an art director. Okay. Now, once I have all of these on here and I have it tagged, I typically will spend, and I haven't. Now, disclaimer, let me tell you the disclaimer first. I was going to say it last, but let me tell you the disclaimer first so that you won't feel like I'm trying to get over. I was heavy into buying impressions on TikTok. You see, if you go to my TikTok and you find me, at sign the mad science, that's at sign the mad science. A lot of my earlier clips have a lot of views. Why? Because I was spending pretty much like $5, sometimes 10, most of the time $5. And I would get like a ton of views, right? Um, but once TikTok start looking like it, things might change, um, like I said, I didn't want to go into this, but here's my personal feeling. I don't know what's going to happen to TikTok. I'm pretty sure that they'll sell it to someone, but what the Chinese government does not want to sell is the algorithm. They don't want to give that away to a new person. And so that is an issue that they're dealing with. Secondly, um, right now, most of the people, like I used to be on Twitter heavy, okay? And then Elon Musk bought it. And it used to be fun on Twitter for me because they had something on there called Black Twitter, and it was a lot of jokes or a lot of information. Also, there were I would go on my timeline. I would see a lot of music related stuff, right? Because that's what I'm interested in. Now, when I go on, I'm still a DJ. I still follow the same music people, but most of what I see is political related stuff, and it's mostly Trump stuff, or they like Trump. And I'm like, I came to this app for music and for culture. Now I'm looking at, I feel like I'm watching Fox News. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that Fox News is bad. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is bad. What I'm saying is that's not why I went to Twitter. Okay, I went there for jokes and music and to find out what's going on in sports, to talk about Dallas, because I don't like Dallas Cowboys. But that's why I went there. Now it's something totally different. So at the beginning, yeah, I was buying a lot of ad time or a lot of impressions on TikTok, but now I don't, because I don't want to. And I went from like 200 followers to now I have 2,382. And when you get this many followers, once you get over 1,000 followers, there's all kind of perks. The next perks go up to like 5,000 followers. Okay. And then 10,000. And you get a lot of perks that they promise you. If I get all the way up to those followers, am I still going to get those perks? Also, in an official statement, now they are supposed to have stopped DJs from going live on TikTok. DJs could go on there, DJ for real, like use other people's music, like we do in the clubs and everything else, everywhere else. And we could essentially DJ for real on TikTok live. And the way it worked is after a while, people would throw you change. It's like DJing on the street promoting or street performing, and people throw you a couple of dollars. And I know people who make more than a couple dollars. They make a couple thousand. Okay, they do really really well because they stick to it. I wasn't expecting to sit there every day at for hours trying to work my way up to that. I just wanted to essentially I wanted to get 10,000 followers. That was my goal. Once I get 10,000 followers on TikTok, I would have been happy. But I don't know what TikTok is going to look like once the sale happens. Okay. And I don't know if I want to invest. And I know it's just $5, but still, it's now I feel like, well, YouTube, I know YouTube, and YouTube is not going to change. So I can just take that $5 and I can invest it into YouTube. I could put $5 on a YouTube video rather than put it on here. So that's where my mindset is. So that's what I've been doing. But I still post. Now, since I don't promote, I haven't gotten any followers. Okay, I can tell you that. I have not gotten more followers. I still get people looking. I get the 144 and the 195. I'm stuck in the 200 view jail that they put you in when you don't spend any money, right? And I also get, now here's the thing, I book parties. There are people who come to my events based on what they see in TikTok. So that's why I still promote on here. And if TikTok gets its thing together and they sell and it doesn't turn into right-wing propaganda, you know, because my client base is not going to want the right-wing propaganda. It doesn't matter how I feel personally. My client base is women. Okay. I'm here in California. Okay. And it's going to be women, Black and Latino women. And they tend to be, from liberal to progressive. They're not right wing. Okay. You know, they're not those type of people. So if I end up having, if they end up turning this TikTok into a right wing propaganda, doesn't matter how I feel about the right wing propaganda. What matters, because I tell people all the time, I'm a capitalist. So that's me. I'm not left or right or center. I'm a capitalist. So if I go to a platform and my client base is not there, then I can't go to that platform. It does like it, I'm not gonna switch over. It's like, I mean, the right wing people can buy my merch. That's fine. They could come, they're allowed. But right now, my client base is mostly, if you look, I have mostly Black and Latino women that come to my events. Okay. With a little bit of white people, they'll come to some Asian people, but majority are Black and Latinos. Okay. Also get, the LGBTQ community that comes in. They're not usually right wing. Okay. So I'm in Long Beach. There's a lot of LGBTQ people that come to my events. And, I want to make sure that TikTok is a safe space for them. And so that's what I'm just waiting to see, what that looks like. But I will tell you this, that TikTok is really, really cost effective. And I mean, $5 to promote, and that'll get you $5 will get you, 3,000 to 7,000 views. And the number of impressions or views that you get will depend upon, you know, how well you tag it. If you got a really good title, if you got a really good description and you got all your tags, your hashtags, and it's relevant. But like I said, the we'll talk about the content within itself in a different series, but as long as it's relevant, promoting or buying impressions on I have some of these are like really, really good. You know, this video right here, I really like this one. She had her birthday party at Taco Tuesday and she was really, really excited. This person was having her birthday party. She was really, really excited. There she is. For those who is on the radio, you can't see it, but she's really excited and she's gonna take a shot. And she's really, really happy. One of them I made into a meme. Let me see if I can find that one. I made one of these people that had their birthday party. I made it into a meme, and I love that meme because I mean she just looked really, really excited. And I don't know if I can take the time to find her, but I made her into a meme. This is another one that's my favorite because the Dodgers won the World Series, and there were people there who won the World Series. You know, it's a great TikTok is a great album so that people can see, what's going on, especially if you have events. So if you're a DJ and you have an event, or if you are a singer, rapper, songwriter, music producer, and you're having real live events, okay? Now, if you're just sitting at home, um, if you're just sitting at home producing music on your DAW, I don't know if it'll do that well. Okay. I tried doing that at the beginning of my TikTok career and it didn't do as well. Okay. Um, or if you're just sitting there just like kind of vlogging, telling about your life, that does well. Obviously, Keith, I can't think of his last name, but he's the food critic. That's a vlog that does very well. So you just got to find what does well. And then the main thing is promote it on TikTok. And if you want to wait, like I'm doing, that's totally understandable. It looks like from what Donald Trump says, they're getting really, really close to coming up with a deal. But I don't know. We'll find out. So that's promoting on TikTok. That's my experience. Um, and so that's what I'm sharing with you. In the next series, we're going to talk about the type of content that you should use on all these platforms, so that you can not just buy the impressions, but you'll know what kind of content to put on there that's going to be effective for me. Now, it may not be effective for you, or you might find different content that's effective. But at least once you understand what content that you're going to provide, once you know what you want to do, then it's just a matter of knowing, like, why am I spending this money? And the whole key thing is to make sure you get your money back, right? So that it's worth it. So for me on TikTok, it is worth it because I make enough money. If I spend $5 or $10, I definitely make $5 or $10 back. Okay. Just on my DJ fee is $200, right? So I get that. Then I get a percentage of the bar. And so I generally, on my Saturday brunches, I generally generate between 600 to $1,000, depending on who comes, how many people come. But on the low end, it's been about $600. High end, it's been about 1,100 actually. But let's just say 1,000. So between $600 and $1,000. So the $5 I spent was worth it. Okay. On my YouTube, I haven't been profitable yet. So I'll let you know if it is profitable. I mean, only thing I could tell you on my YouTube is that it's cheaper than you would think. I can spend $10, I can spend $20. I don't think I spent less than, I don't think I spent $5. Let me see if I spent $5 on YouTube promotion. Yeah, I have spent $5 on a YouTube promotion. And that $5 bought me 26,000 impressions. Which got me 741 views and 75 subscribers. So yeah, I've spent $5. And so, um, that's what I would say is YouTube is more affordable than you would think. But I've got to make it turn a profit. And you'll see in real time, you'll see, because I'll let you know, like, oh man, did I sell a shirt? Did I sell a hoodie on YouTube? Or maybe someone said, hey, I heard your mixes. Can you come over to this venue and, perform? Or what's your fee? Okay. And so that's, that when that happens, I will definitely let you know when that does happen. So I want to conclude by saying this. What you're learning is music marketing. Okay. And so the reason why you're going to always come back, you're going to click that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and always come back is because for this particular series is because what I'm teaching you is music marketing. If you are an artist, like whether you're a DJ, rapper, singer, dancer, whatever. And the only reason why I'm saying artist is because I'm an artist. Okay, that's what I do. So I'm hoping that I appeal to other artists. If you're that, then you must understand music marketing in order to be successful in today's industry. Gone are the days where there's the record labels have decided, hey, we don't want to sign artists no more. We only want to sign, established production companies that have established acts that are already generating, and we're going to provide certain services to that production company and to that artist. If you're not on your own able to like generate income, they have no interest in you. So if you're watching this wondering, what can I do next? The most important thing you can do is keep watching. All right. I want to thank everybody who came through this week, those who came on my YouTube live, and those who are listening on the radio. I appreciate everyone. You can catch me on my radio station. On my radio show every day, Monday through Friday, on the Midday Madness Show on Power 975 LA. Every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then you can also catch me on my YouTube channel on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. where I do hot topics, and Fridays at 6 p.m. where I do music marketing. Thank you, everybody who's come through today. I really appreciate your time and your ears.